Woo, everybody. Just got off work, just got home. Got a little of that. What a day. Fire going. Lost for words. Sometimes things happen, makes me want to just give up. I have lost so many pigeons. I don't care what I've done. I don't care what I've done. Unbelievable how many birds I lost. So, we're gonna do a little video. Getting drunk with Hidden Hollow. I about had it. I put as much time, money into something as I have. Just to be let down. Just to lose one bird after another. My flock's almost gone. About all my breeders are gone. About all my flyers are gone. I have my tumblers down there and my rollers down there, and they're all fine. Nothing's got to them. Man, I don't know what to say. I've used some of the best medicine. I've got well over $100 in medicine trying to get this stuff right. Sucks. Here's a wife pulling up. Give me a minute and I'll get right back with you. Let's get back to it. Yeah, like I said, over $100 worth of medicine in here. 5 days on, a couple days of vitamins, electrolytes, 5 days on again. I'm into the 4-in-1 now just because that's all I had left. Pump that. I did the bleach in the first place before I got my medicine. Then I tried these other two medicines mixed together. It was supposed to cure paratyphoid and salmonella. Now I got 4-in-1. Not only did I take all my birds out of the loft and split them up, I treated the whole loft. I went in there and bleached that place down 2 different times. Heavy bleach, all over. Put everything back in there, fresh everything, clean the bowls, clean the nesting boxes, clean the room, cleaned everything. Nothing. I lose birds every friggin' day. I hardly got any left. So you wonder why I drink? That's why I'm drinking. But I've lost almost everything else. I bet there's not 30 birds in that loft between all the breeders in the back part and the ones I got in the front. No, there's probably a few more than 30, but not more, not many more. It's discerning, man. I'm ready to quit. I'm not lying. What am I gonna be when I'm not Hidden Hollow loft anymore? You know? I don't know. But in my fire pit right here, that's where I've been throwing my dead birds, burning them. I just went in the loft, pulled a few more out after I got home today. They won't even look bad. I will say I hadn't been in there a couple days just for the fact that I had to work late. But you know, I had enough water and food in there to keep them for a couple days. And it hasn't been below freezing, so it hasn't been bad. You go up in there, pulling birds out again. White birds, blue bars, checks, you name it.
What are you talking to?
Video camera.
Blue what?
The video camera.
No, I'm not yourself.
I don't know what to tell you. They come every month, don't they?
Yeah, but it's like 3 times the amount it normally is.
I don't know what to tell you. It's expensive around here. Expensive to live anywhere. It's even more expensive when I went out and spent 60 some dollars a day on Neutrina pigeon pellets, the high protein kind that people use for food. Yeah, I did that today. Come back. I'm not even gonna use it yet. I've got like 3 bags of feed plus my Neutrina in my truck right now. I ain't got nobody to feed anymore. stuff ain't no joke. Homemade from North Carolina. My buddy in Roxborough, North Carolina, where I came from before I moved up here. Wild, wonderful West Virginia. It's rough. It's rough when you put so much time and effort into something and it doesn't pay off. I thought that my white birds would have paid off by now, just for the fact that I was going to use them for breeding and selling. I was going to use them for weddings and funerals and special events. Hell, I had enough to do anything I wanted to do. And one by one. Everybody I know, John over at Hidden Hollow, Market Red Star, my bud Paul over at On To Go Loft, White House Loft, man, Peter Ramen, the Five and Dime Loft. I could probably think of some more off the bat, but they're all doing great. They got babies coming out the yin yang. I haven't got my first egg, and I've been running lights in that thing for 24 hours for months. You know, just maybe it's too much, I don't know. But it ain't done nothing. And now everybody's sick and everybody's dying. So that ain't helping none either, right? So, between the day that I had today and the last month or so that I've had where I've lost 75%, almost 80% of my flock to something. I don't even know what it was. Because nothing touches it. I'm looking for suggestions. You know, my next thing is going to be injectables. Finding something I can inject them with and hope the hell it works, because nothing else works right now. I'm wearing my glasses. Not like I'm reading anything. Excuse me. So today's going to be getting drunk with Hidden Hollow. Because I'm going to get drunk and I'm not going to care. I usually don't drink. Hell, I've had this jar and another one I got in my freezer since I got married September 1st, the year before last, that my buddy brought up for me. And I had 4 quarts. I drank one. It took a while. I gave one to my brother, and I got these other 2. And I just decided, since I don't have to work tomorrow, I don't have any special plans to go anywhere and do nothing, because sometimes this will dampen your Saturday morning plans. Hey, cut it out. That's what it is. Anyway, just an update. All my birds are dying. I'm not gonna just let them all go and then burn the loft down. Sounds like a good idea, doesn't it? Anyway, I just thought I'd do a small video. Whew! God. I'm trying to take small drinks, but God, this stuff's rough. I may pause it, and I may get back to you a little bit, or I might shut off, and that'll be the end of the video. Anyway, if I don't come back, y'all have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you the next time on the next installment of Hidden Hollow Loft. Y'all have a great day. It's fire. It's fire. I was working in there putting my toolbox together. Started a new job, commercial service. We do repairs, we do storefronts. If your door's messed up on your business, we come and fix it. We install steel doors, panic bars, closers, man, you name it, we do it. We were down in at a Dana Center down in Virginia last couple days. Today I just worked at the shop. But I had to get some tools together, and I did some research on new drills. You know, I have a Ryobi, works pretty well around here for what I use it for, but I need something a little bit stronger, so I was looking into it, and I watched some good comparisons. I wound up getting a Milwaukee set, real nice Milwaukee drill and an impact, because we put a lot of heavy duty screws and steel and junk like that. So, whew, this is pretty strong. What's that? A while back, years ago, was a friend of mine. He used to really hook me up with some good birds, and he would give me roosters all the time because he knew I would take care of them and I would get them right. And it's back in the day when we could actually go to Virginia to Drag Mountain, and there was another one I can't remember. We used to go to some legal pits where we could actually fight roosters. And I don't know if you've ever been to a real rooster fight, but these were arenas. It was like a small basketball arena. It would have seats all around, going up high and everything. And in the middle would be this pit. Well, not really a pit. It'd be like a stage almost. And it had plexiglass windows all around. And the guys would go in. They would take their roosters each and go in here and get these birds and let them fight. A lot of times the fight was ended right there on the floor. Sometimes, because these birds are so game, they could be beat up, can't even get up and walk, can't do nothing. They'll still be trying to fight. And they will fight them to whoever pecks last. So basically you could take two birds that were half dead, they would take them and put them in the drag pit and watch these birds, and these birds would still be trying to kill each other until either one died or until one turned around and stopped fighting and the other one kept fighting. The one that would continue to fight would be the winner. So, needless to say, I had over 100 roosters. I had some of the best brood stock, and I came up with a bloodline where I took a solid white claret rooster, and I had two what they call blue mugs. They were light blue hens with some dark blue spots, and they were sisters. And I put them together as a trio, and one of the hens got wiped out one night, and she had about 7 biddies running around, and the next morning she was gone, and a few of the biddies was gone, and there was this one little white bird, almost all white, that ran the yard. He didn't stay with everybody else. He was young, and he just ran the yard, and he took care of himself. So as he grew up and got bigger running on the yard, you know, all the other birds I pretty much had to take care of, pull them off the yard, put them in pens, do all these other things. But he always stayed to himself, you know. He was a really good bird. And I had friends that used to come over, and they would bring roosters, and just for fun we'd throw a couple down and let them spar out on the ground, you know, just where they fight without weapons. You know, they would just tussle and everything, and you could find out a lot about them. Well, it got to the point where I had a buddy named Lucas. Well, there was Lucas and Kevin, but Lucas was the main one. He would always come over, and he would always be trying to instigate a fight. And the worst thing about it was he'd bring one rooster wanting to fight something, and usually for some money, and I would be able to walk in my yard and eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and pick one and wipe him out. It's very rare that he ever beat me. It's very rare when I started raising my own birds that I ever got beat. I had a way with him. I don't know what it was. But this little white rooster used to run around. He got pretty big. He got about 6 months old. He was still running the yard. And this dude would bring roosters over my yard, and he would say, "Where's that little badass white rooster of yours?" Well, that turned out to be his name. And good reason too, because he was bad. That little bird, when he would throw his rooster down, that little bird would come out of the woodwork and beat the crap out of his rooster right there on the spot. Well, it turned out to where this bird, I could take this bird and set him on the table, rub him. He would sit there and crow like he owned the place. I called them my Total Mayhem Blues. And they came everywhere from white with some spots to dark blue, almost black. And they were all really good birds. They were good fighters. They were great cutters. And their temperament was great. I can stand them right here with me. I used to take birds up to the flea markets in Buckhorn, North Carolina. I would take birds up. Well, I had so many, and I needed to get rid of some. Where pretty much for 5 years, I raised birds, sold birds, fought birds, and that's how I paid my bills for like 5 years. I stayed on my yard and took care of my business. And I could take these birds up there with me, and I'd have them sitting on the tailgate, just hanging out with me. People would be like coming up looking for the tie cord. Like, "Where's this tie cord?" You don't need one. This bird's tame, but he is bad. You know what I mean? The best rooster you ever want to fight is one that's not mean to you, but to another rooster. You don't want to take this rooster into a fight while he's trying to get to you, mad, trying to peck on you, trying to spur you up and everything. You don't want that crap, because it's going to take his mind off of everything. I used to raise my birds with a great temperament. I could handle them, I could do anything I want when I trained them, this and that. And when I would go into a pit with these birds, they would be looking at the other rooster. They wouldn't care nothing about me because they knew I was good. I was their friend. And when I threw them birds down, boy, they went straight to the other rooster. They wouldn't hesitate. They didn't care about him, her, it, nothing. They cared about killing that other rooster, and they did it. Badass, that little white rooster turned out to be a beautiful cock. I know that sounds funny, but hey, we talk about pigeons the same way. He fought 6 times for me in the gaff, which is a weapon that we used to put on both of his legs, and they would get in there and it would be shake, rattle, and roll. It was so bad at the time that when I would take this bird to fight other people, which I fought against pretty much every one of my friends and a few others, I would apologize. I would say, I'm sorry about your rooster, and they would be like, I don't know what you're apologizing for. You haven't won yet. I said, yeah, you're right. You're right. And then I'd kill him right off the bat. Well, it was one day I had 6 roosters. They were brassback Albany cross. Brassback butcher, Albany's. They were crossed over, and these suckers could cut. They would fight. They were game. And there was a friend of mine who I got the birds from, and another dude knew him really well. And one day he said somebody came in his yard, stole some of his roosters. He saw horse tracks, so he automatically assumed that, hey, this guy, let's just call him Skinny, that's his name. This guy Skinny had came on his horseback and stole some roosters from him. Well, Skinny was not no thief. Skinny had his own stuff. He didn't need nothing Randy's, and kind of pissed Skinny off. So one day Randy invited me over. Hey, let's roll 6 birds. Bring what you got. Let's see what you got. And I called Skinny. I said, Skinny, I'm going to take these 6 birds you gave me. They're all brothers. I'm going to take them over there, and we're going to see what happens. Randy was no joke. Called him One-Eyed Randy because one of his eyes is all messed up, so it was a good little nickname. But we took it over there, and I went over there. Skinny didn't go. Skinny was still a little upset that the boy even said that because they were friends. And I know full well it never happened. I'm finishing. Barely. It's barely raining. Feels good. But so I told Skinny, I said, I'm going to go over here and take these birds, and we're going to see what happens. And Skinny said, go get him. Just go get him. I went over there. I beat him 6 straight. This dude had been doing this shit his whole life. I've been doing it for a few years. I took these birds, my training, my feeding, and I beat him, slayed 6 of his birds, one after the other. I went home, I called Skinny up. You know what was funny? Let me rephrase that. Before I even got home, Skinny had called me on the cell phone. He said, dude, I just heard what you did. Now, how you heard it? I think Randy called Lucas. Lucas called Skinny because Randy didn't call Skinny, but Randy did call Lucas. And Skinny called me up and said, hey man, congratulations, I heard what you just did. You were the shiznit. And I said, man, it's your birds. That bloodline you've been breeding all these years. He would breed a bunch of these brassback Albany stags, and the Mexicans would come over and buy them left and right. $100 a shot, 6 months old. And he'd sell every one he had off the yard. Bang. And the ones he didn't sell, he would keep some back, and he would roll. And we used to do this weekly. And like every weekend or so, we would roll birds, and that's what we did. And I don't think I could do it nowadays. I've got some nice birds, and I'm starting a new bloodline, a new blue bloodline. But if everything don't turn out right in this loft, I'll clean that thing out real good, and I'll start just breeding my game fowl chicks out of there again. And it'll just have to be something different than Hidden Hollow Cockhouse or something funny like that. But anyway, woo! I'm getting drunk with Hidden Hollow today. Something I want to mention. I do a lot of homestead stuff, and there's a couple that I've been watching since they started called Two Cedars Micro Farm. Two Cedars? What am I, stupid now? Twin Cedars? Two Cedars Micro Farm. It's Dave and Darcy. They're an old couple, and you can look them up. I wish you would. Dave they just found out he had lung cancer, and he's going through treatments, and they're having a hard time. I don't like to brag, but we've donated some money, and I know some other people have donated some money, and If you get a chance, they do have a GoFundMe page, and if you could throw something to them, man, it would be really appreciative. I'm sure they would really appreciate it. They're a great couple. They do a lot of homestead stuff. They have goats, donkeys, chickens, ducks, and we had a surprise for them here soon. If everything works out right, we're gonna hook them up. 2-seaters, twin-seaters, twin-seaters or 2-seaters micro farm. Look them up, and if anything, just subscribe. They could use some subscribers, because you know, if they get a certain amount of subscribers, they can get funded, and that could always help towards their doctor bills as well. And I would really appreciate it, guys. I know I've rambled on for too long, and I'm gonna cut this. I think I made the wife mad. She keeps coming out and interrupting me. I think I made her mad when she knew I started drinking, because I don't really drink, but I'm a little frustrated today. And not that I'm gonna get drunk, I don't think so, but I am gonna drink some. I am gonna relax. I'm putting a toolbox together, got a fire going on, and I got some yard to straighten up. This place is a disaster. And I got a set of these silver balls that, you know, you get at Spencer's, look like a set of balls, and I'm gonna put them on the back of my 4-wheeler. I used to have them on my other truck, but I took them off when I sold the truck. Anyway, thanks for watching. Y'all have a great weekend, and this time I'm officially gone.